Today we're in South Central Illinois, working up some high-yielding corn residue on a combination of silty clay loams, Drummer, Flanagan, Rob, with the Amazon Ceus all-in-one combination tillage tool. One of the biggest challenges for tilling corn stalks here is just chewing through all of the corn residue from the previous crop. We're working 11, almost 12 inches in the ground with the main shanks in the middle, and it's leaving a surprisingly phenomenal finish. We've got tools that I would argue do a comparable amount of dirt movement, but they can't leave a seedbed behind like this does.
What's out here right now is a silty clay loam, Mexico and Putnam soil type. There's a compaction layer about 8 inches deep. So we're just digging right underneath of that and taking that compaction out, working some fertilizer in and getting this field set up for next spring. So it's almost like a prescription. You need a certain medicine for a certain ailment. Same out here. It's soybean stubble. There's not a lot of residue to chew up, so we can pull those discs out of the ground, but really dig the chisels in deep, and then that roller in the back, we're able to feather it and get a perfectly smooth seed bed.
Well, we farm primarily river bottom ground, and the farm that we're on today is heavy silt. We've been working 11, 12 inches deep and pulling up very, very little moisture. The ground is definitely loose, but it's leaving an incredible, what we'll call at this point, seed bed.
So we have quite a bit of residue out here right after corn harvest, and I was a little bit weary of how the Ceus was going to handle it, but the adjustments are super easy. They're right there at the palm of your hand and really cut through all that trash and makes a really good seed bed.
Get along really well pulling those shanks about 11, 12 inches deep and running the disc blades about 2 inches deep because there's not a lot of residue left in this field. So the challenge for us on this farm is it's a black mucky farm. This ground never works good in the spring and barely works good in the fall. And today we did it in the rain after we already had boulders, and we smoothed it off really nice.
So this field here will be rotated from corn to soybeans every year. Generally on this heavy black muck like this, you gotta do something. If you leave it, it'll be a wet, muddy mess in the spring. But Ceus worked very nice. You know, you're not bringing up big chunks. You've got enough going on with the discs and the roller that it's kind of beating it back down a little bit flat. It's not totally fine like flour, but it's not the big chunks like you can sometimes see behind a ripper.
The cool thing about this Ceus is we're taking 2 to 3 tillage tools and putting it into one. Most chisel plows leave the ground rough. This thing, it looks like a seed bed. Next spring, we should be able to come right in and be ready to go as soon as the ground gets warm and not have to do any more work out here.
This Ceus combination tool actually may have what it takes to be able to accomplish a one-pass fall deep tillage and provide us with a good enough seed bed, a reduction in residue, enough soil turned up that we can actually no-till it in the spring.
So that's our goal after all, is use a one-pass tillage tool that we can rip in the fall and leave the ground suitable for planting next spring, and that's including after a river gets across it. And right now, what I'm seeing looks phenomenal in corn ground.
You can either use it strictly as a vertical till, you can put the ripper points down, you can use it as a ripper, so it's a combination of the two. You need stuff that's more versatile, that if I want to rip with it today, I can. If I want to use it as a vertical till, I can do that.
Had I not done anything to this field and just pulled in it with this, I could have worked it one time, left it, pulled back in the spring and planted it. And that would have saved me 1, 2, possibly 3 operations. So that's pretty big value in the pocketbook.
I've been really impressed. For a tool to be able to work as deeply as it is and leave such a fine seed bed and soil finish behind is really impressive to me.
I would give it a very high rating. It's doing everything we want it to.